Welcome to the penultimate episode of PS2 Tuesdays Season 2. This week I will be turning my attention back to the platforming genre and a great little game by the name of iNinja. This title was developed by Argonaut Software, probably still most well known for their work on the original Star Fox for the SNES, with quite a bit of help from Shigeru Miyamoto. However, they're also no strangers to making quality platform games, as they put together the well-loved Croc Legend of the Gobbos for the PS1. In this game, as the title would suggest, you take control of a ninja, albeit a cartoony comedy ninja rather than a stealthy dealer of death. In fact, there is very little stealth to be had in iNinja, but despite this, there is a wide variety of gameplay styles which are extremely good fun for the most part, and also quite frustrating on the odd occasion. For starters, we have your fundamental platforming gameplay, which handles well and includes your usual staples of the genre, such as a double jump and a glide, which the ninja hero uses his sword as a helicopter. I swear that Metroid Prime had quite a strong influence on this game, as Argonaut has borrowed several mechanics from that series. Firstly, in many of the levels you will eventually get to a spherical object that you have to roll to the exit. This is extremely reminiscent of the Morph Ball sections in Metroid Prime, and also the Super Monkey Ball games to a slightly lesser extent. You also have the grappling hook, which you can use to swing over gaps, again very similar to the counterpart found in Samus's GameCube adventures. Then at the end of the first world there is a boss battle where you can take control of a giant robot and do battle against another. This is basically Punch-Out! This variety of gameplay types continues throughout the game. In World 2 there is a turret shooting minigame and a stage where you're constantly rolling around on an explosive barrel. This level, and some of the optional missions that can change things up by giving you a strict time limit for example, can be quite frustrating to beat, but with some practice and perseverance are by no means impossible. There were several occasions where I was close to throwing down my controller in a rage, but luckily iNinja always gives several different missions to choose from, so if one is really getting on your nerves then leave it alone for a little while and come back to it once you calm down. Progression in this game is divided into different coloured belts, with each completed mission giving you a grade point toward the next belt. Each level has to be beaten once as part of the story, but will then offer up a further grade point if you beat the optional challenge within. It will take completionists quite some time to do everything. The graphics in iNinja are quite nice indeed, cartoony, colourful and smooth. The loading times between levels is also extremely fast, which is appreciated. I also quite like the electronic music used throughout the game, which reprises the catchy theme tune in various different ways throughout the stages. Now then, let's get down to the cost and availability. Good news, there are plenty of copies of iNinja out there for the PS2, and as a result you can find one nice and cheap, around the £5 to £10 mark. I do have to wonder though if the game is slightly better suited to the GameCube. The analogue stick would make the ball rolling sections somewhat easier to play. However, the GameCube version is much rarer. At the time of writing there is only one copy on Amazon.co.uk and the asking price is £75. In that case, just stick with the PS2 version, because although iNinja is a solid game, it's certainly not worth paying that much for it. With that, there's now only one episode left in this season, and I plan to do things slightly differently. The game I will be covering is Okami, and the video will be done in a similar style to one of my full-length reviews rather than the typical PS2 Tuesdays episode that's about 5 minutes or less. Okami is such an amazing game that I want to do it justice, so that's why I'll be spending the extra time and effort to get it just right. So then, see you next week for the conclusion of Season 2.